विठ्ठल विठ्ठल जय हरि विठ्ठल 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 पहावा विठ्ठल 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 पहावा विठ्ठल उजडी राहिले उजड होऊन उजडी राहिले उजड होऊन विठ्ठला माया बापा उजडी राहिले उजड होऊन निवृत्ती सोपान मुक्ताबाई निवृत्ती सोपान निवृत्ती सोपान मुक्ताबाई 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 इंद्रायणी काठी इंद्रायणी काठी इंद्रायणी काठी देवाची आळंदी लागली समाधी ज्ञानेशाची हो ज्ञानेशाची इंद्रायणी काठी विठ्ठला विठ्ठला माया बाबा विठ्ठल विठ्ठल जय हरि विठ्ठल.
So today's session is more inclined towards I'll be speaking more about myself and how how my engineering degree, I have a background with my engineering degree, and how I incline towards a creative part of my life. So this session will be mostly about me and how did I transform my workflow from being a engineer to a creative. So in this slide, so that's about me, wherein I'm a traveler at heart. I love traveling. I love taking pictures and good stories, and also I am into freelancing. So I also work on various commission projects that come along with brands. So I am working with them. So yes, we can continue. So I was talking about myself. So I've been a photographer, a traveler, and a working professional as well. So I also manage my travel and work as a freelance artist. So I also have worked with some brands in the industry, and a recent collaboration which I had was with Vivo India. So wherein I made a 1-minute cut with Vivo India for the same. Also I've worked with Realme India on 2 of their devices, and I also undertake wedding cinematography as my work, and I run or undertake photo walks as well. So that's about me as a professional. Regarding how did I start as an engineering career. So in next slide, where this is where I'm speaking about my engineering years and how my photography journey began. So I was admitted to college after my CET just completed. So my CET was complete and I was admitted to a college, but I had something to do in my mind. Like as a young guy, I always wanted to do something which is different, and try to go out of the box. But I used to try a lot of different things other than photography, and wanted to be more into technical stuff and everything. But one day suddenly it happened to me, and that means that is the most memorable day I would call, which happened to me. So where I could carry myself as a photographer or a creative. So this day was somewhere during my engineering years of my second year. So during the end of second year, I had asked my mom a long back, I want a good camera phone. So the good camera phone would be Samsung Galaxy S5, which I asked my mom at that time to buy me. So I had got good scores. I was doing good in engineering. So she just asked me to. I just asked her to buy it, and she bought me that phone. And later on, what happened is I started developing keen interest in taking images. So Samsung Galaxy S5 was like one of the most amazing cameras at that point of time, and I used to think, uh, what would be the sense of capturing pictures. So that was beginning with that small phone camera, and suddenly it happened to me that I was just at a college event. There I saw a simple DSLR camera, and I thought, let's try it out. I lended out my friend's camera for like 4 or 5 pictures for a while, and there where it hit me that I should also get a DSLR with me. So in around like third year started in my college, and I asked my dad that I want a DSLR. I had to make a bit of protest, ask him around, because he was not very keen that I should buy a camera, and I should start shooting pictures. So nonetheless, he bought me that camera, and from that point of time, I started shooting a lot of pictures, and everything was going nice. The college was working around, and there was a senior in my college where he asked me like, "Are you keen in making films?" So the filmmaking journey also dates back to those days, and we were a group of college students who were aspiring to make sensible stories by script writing and making a good content for that matter. So that where is the filmmaking and the photography journey has begun. So during my engineering years, we shot a lot of short movies, small video projects which we undertook, and later on, as the time progressed, uh, I got myself into a job around final year, and I was working fine and everything was going around good. But I don't know, somewhere the 9 to 5 schedule didn't hit me that much, because during the ending days of engineering, I was more keen towards making myself into this creative field, and I just wanted to shoot a lot of good pictures and content, which I wanted to make for myself and also to the people around me. So that was my approach at that point of time. But circumstances didn't allow me to just start doing that right away. So I completed my engineering, and then I got into a job where I was working 9 to 5. But somewhere it was eating me up for a while, because uh, there was no freedom. I had to work for a lot of hours, and I was not able to create something, because I don't know, there has been a habit with me since those long years that I want to make something and I want to present it to the world, because pictures are a very easy manner to just go click something nice and just present it by yourself. So I was not able to do that for a longer period of time, and then uh, suddenly I thought I should get a full frame camera. That is the time where I went to switch into a full frame camera, and from that moment onwards, I have not like looked back. I have like made a name that I have to make something worthwhile, which I shoot around me and present it in a very good manner. And as the time progressed, I started meeting a lot of good people around me. A lot of good people started connecting, and through this process I also started learning a lot. Recent and I was also able to shoot a lot of good videos around me. So first was where I started with Sony. I was shooting around streets of Kasba Pet, streets of Shaniwarwada, and I used to compose a video out of it. But later on, I thought I am restricting myself only to Pune. So later on, I made my first travel trip to Pushkar in the same few months of purchasing the camera, and that was one of the best trips we ever had in a long time. There also I was able to compose a video, but not that good. So I also focused on the video which you see of Rajasthan. When you scroll down very down to the feed, and the video you see today, they have taken a lot of changes through the time. I mean, I also kept learning new things, and working around in new projects helped me learn a lot. So uh, slowly as time progressed, I kept making. I didn't stop creating videos or photos. So that was something which I wanted to do, and I kept on doing. So later on when I went into some wedding projects, I was a bit nervous. So my very first wedding project was like okay, but later on, as I started shooting more into wedding cinematography, I got to know that that is where your practice and skills are going to shine. So, like 2 to 3 years, I kept on working on shooting and clicking good pictures. So where I learned a lot about framing in a better manner, composing the environment in a better manner, composing the places you visit in a better manner, and also developing a style of my own in the due process. So that's how long the journey has been till date, to summarize. But through these process, I've also had a lot of setbacks which I had to overcome, and throughout these years, I feel nice like what I was creating yesterday, it is better today. Means yesterday if I made a mistake, today I have rectified it and I have moved ahead with it. So my approach for photography from my engineering years is like that: take something good with you, learn, improve, and make something worthwhile out of it. So that is the entire journey where my photography has been till date. So so many people ask me why did I incline toward this? Okay, I have a good engineering degree. I can definitely get a very nice package based job, and I can do it. But I always wanted to do something different in terms of my life, because I had seen many people working 9 to 5. They're doing the same cycle, and I mean, there is nothing at the end of the road. Means at the end of the road, you don't. Means I saw that you have not really done anything which is, wow, I have done this, or I have made something which can, I can tell, yes, I have done it. Making some mark of yourself, that I didn't see in the 9 to 5 job which I was seeing in engineering, and I always wanted it out of the cycle. I don't know, but that doesn't fit me in the job kind of scenario. So why did I incline towards this? To answer it very in a single sentence would be like, I just wanted to do something different than the world, and I wanted to make it my own. So my inclination towards this was because I just wanted to do something different and something creative. Uh, so there was a situation in my life. My heart was inclining towards this, but the reality was something different. In my house, there was not an environment where they will promote photography at a very uh, a positive way, because they said like you are just clicking a picture. That does not mean you're doing something very nice or different kind of work. But my heart knew it, like I want to do this, and if I'm passionate enough, and if I'm thinking that I should push myself into this, I would be able to do it. But the the situation was not the same. Means this slide is like what heart says is often not the reality, because challenges which I faced along this path had me a lot of setbacks as well, because somewhere I had to compromise and wait for a lot of time, and then I had to just wait for a bit and again start over again and again. So for this matter, you need a really strong heart, or a really strong motive to be throughout your photography or cinematography journey. uh, so cinematography it started around in college, uh, and since then I have not looked back at videos. But like when I make videos, it is usually more towards the environment, the places which I'm going, and how well I can tell a story, how well I can tell a place that has captured my heart. So it's like an outpouring of your heart which you are telling the audience. So when I start an end-to-end video, I really want like people see the outpouring which I felt at the place. If I was there, what how would I see it in a video? I put myself in that place and try to create videos which are people can connect to. Because a lot of times I've seen people do uh, their kind of work by seeing somebody has created such kind of video and make the same, but rather than doing that, focus on making stories which you would like to tell to the people, how you would visualize a place, and how would you like to tell it to the people. That is where cinematography helped me a lot in storytelling. Photography for that matter is like photographs are for me a connection to the places which I have visited. So the if you see cinematography, I also take the same concept in my photography as well. So uh, if I visit a place, how would I want it to be? How would I see it as a frame in my eyes? That's the basic question I ask myself while clicking the picture. And since then, like I have tried improving over the time and making such kind of photo based stories, whether it is videos. So the end motive is like making some worthwhile stories, meaning where I feel yes, I visited this place and this was the outpouring or this was the output which I was able to generate as a creative, and this was how well I could represent a place at some point of time. So in the due process, also somewhere I had to give up on my job. I have also had to give up on time. So if you're thinking like how did these things take into place, so management in terms of time was like hell. I had to manage my leaves as well. I had to manage a lot of unpaid leaves. I had to give up on salary. I had to give up on uh, I had to give up on a lot of things. Somewhere I had a priority on job, so somewhere I had to give up on a paid assignment. So this has happened, and financially, if you see, what I do is when I shoot, I save the money which I get through my paid projects. I save them up and then plan a travel trip to some places which I want to visit and then shoot them. So financial management, usually I do this. Whatever money I earn through photography, I try and make that I invest it into photography again, because that is the thing which I want to do for a longer period of time, not for a shorter period of time. So for example, if anybody is working with job and wants to continue it for a longer period of time, say that you save over the period of time and try and invest it over the time into photography. So this will help you generate stable finance as well as sustain you for a longer period of time as well. So one more thing, how has being creative brought about a change in my life? So I would say a part of self discovery happened through these years for me as I went in a creative. So before I was an engineer, now I'm a creative, but it has taught a lot about life. And I think being creative, you can learn more about life in terms of its reality, in terms of its perspectives, in terms of its differentness. So कैसे कैसे होता है कि कभी हम दिल्ली जाते हैं तो दिल्ली का वाइब पूरा अलग है, लोग अलग है, सभ्यता अलग है, चीजें अलग है. जैसे कि सुबह यमुना घाट पे बैठ के यू जस्ट सिट एंड you observe the seagulls flying on Yamuna Ghat. There's a different experience. You go to Taj Mahal, you see the morning fog and people walking around. It's a different thing. So if you remember, every demographic in India is an experience in itself. But how well we can capture that as a creative, how well we can tell. And by pushing this approach, I'm also learning about the people, about the culture, about the places which we have, which are truly magnificent and truly inspiring as well. Because if you see in Pune, we have a lot of places, a lot of forts which are still not well represented around the same places, and we can make good stories. So like for example, I want to make a video for the outing which I'll be doing for suppose Kurigat. So what I think is I will plan what kind of pictures I want to take, what kind of videos I want to take. So uh, so it tells me how I see places, how I see nature, how I see a lot of different demographics around the places. So yes, show some pictures. We will be moving to some sample pictures which I have taken over the time. Don't worry. Creativity is all you need. Saying this meaning is try and be constantly creative over the time. Try and be you create something which is your idea and which is very unique in your own sense. For example, you need to create your own perspective which you want to represent to the world. But this being creative takes a cycle which is of clicking and making something every day. Try and click 4 or 5 pictures every day and see what different would you have seen in the place rather than the last day. So if you even click 5 to 6 pictures a day, you will start learning that yeah, every day I'm doing something different, something unique. So therein where you will develop your creativity. This is how I learned everything. I don't have a very what I can say, I don't have any experience in terms of a technical cinematography or a degree in that, but this is how I have learned things, by doing it by myself and pushing myself towards making these. So yes, we are moving towards a video now which I will be showing. Yes.
Can you please pause the video for a minute?
Yes.
Actually, it is not playing smoothly. It would be great if you click on the optimize video for PC, the checkbox which is right below when the screen pops up
Yes, I have.
while you share your screen,
Yeah, I have clicked that.
because it's not clear.
I'll replay it again if you want.
Yeah, sure.
I'll do that. I think.
Oh, it's still cracking.
Because I have clicked the option though, optimize share for full screen.
It will be better if you share the
Uh,
link in the chat. See it on a laptop or mobile, so vice versa. See, basically, what will happen, means it will get stop or crack in between. So if the link is there, suppose, is it a like a video only, or is it on a YouTube or some link?
Yeah, it is on my Instagram feed anyways.
Instagram,
You can
you can see on over that. Yeah.
you can share the Instagram link then.
I can do that. I can do that.
And if the video is saved in MP4 format on your system, then you can directly play from it rather than like playing it from Instagram, because that will require more bandwidth.
No, it's not that case. It's not the case. Anyways, I'll share it in the chat. I have the link.
Okay, sure.
So yes, I have shared the link in the chat if you want. You can.
Okay, so everyone can go through the link
Yeah.
and see Mohit's portfolio on his Instagram ID.
Also, if you like, we have also few questions. So if we have any questions, we can take them as well.
Yeah.
So then, like, people can watch videos.
It was really interesting to know your journey and also how you find your peace in making this content. For the audience, you can type your questions in the chat box. Actually, we have our first question, and it's important that the question is, how did you build your portfolio, and where by which you landed your first client?
Okay. My first initial portfolio was very vague because I didn't have a lot of camera gear which I was shooting on. So the thing is, I landed up on my first shooting portfolio through where I was placed. Like my first company, HR, he had an engagement. So I was clicking pictures, but not the ones which were uh, commercial based. But he was the one who saw like he is doing good, and he gave me up a good project. Later on, as I started working with the first project done, I started taking small shoots which happened around the city for the event which took place. And what I did was I compiled them together. Like this is the kind of event work I've been doing. This is the kind of wedding work I've been doing. And slowly, as things progressed, I started getting good clients as well. So what I made sure, like I made a video in such a manner that I would be able to use it to tell people, yeah, this is the kind of work I've been doing. This is the kind of work I have done. So slowly, I started getting a lot of projects in flow for wedding later on, and that just started growing slowly. So my first project landing would be during my last year of engineering, where my HR asked to shoot his engagement the day itself. So yeah, that is where I got my first paid job, I would say.
Okay. So while people are typing the question, I have a question for you.
Yes,
So
yes,
you
yes.
said that your family didn't supported you initially when you started to make video and photography content.
Yes, yes.
So what is their reaction now that you're doing so well?
Now they are like they are still skeptical about this because they think creative field is a bit vague, and you cannot earn a lot. Job is anytime secure or something like that. But if you see any field for that manner over the years, it is the same thing. There are some ups, there are some downs as well. But end of the day, what matters is satisfaction to yourself. You should feel satisfied with what you're doing. Because when I sit on a laptop and start working, I don't feel good. But if you ask me to sit and edit a video for 6 hours, I'll do it without any hesitation, because things which I love. But they are still in a transition phase where they have realized like he has a kind of potential and he's doing something. But they are not like pulling the leg which they were pulling before during my engineering years. Now, somewhere a bit of shift has happened, and slowly, as time move forwards, as I start progressing better, I think more things are on their way. I think.
So a follow-up question: that what was the reaction when you when you told them that you are going to quit the job or you are going to take a break from the job?
Uh, they obviously felt shocked because any simple based simple home people or simple parents would think like ये क्यों जॉब छोड़ रहा है. अब फोटोग्राफी तो तुम्हारा हॉबी ही है, उसको हॉबी की तरह रखो, जरूरत नहीं है इसको एकदम फुल टाइम में लेके जाने का. But as a creative, I know until and unless I don't give my 100%, I'm not going to get 100% output for that matter. Any creative who is giving his time and everything, he will get that kind of output when he has put that amount of work. Same happens in job. If you are working 9 to 5, you are giving your effort to the software or to the program which you are working. It obviously has to give some kind of output. But there they were not able to understand the analogy, because there is a wide struck people have a concept that people can't do photography but people can do jobs. But photography is the best way to earn money or to get clients assigned for work, because you are your own boss and you can do at the time where you want to earn and where you want to stop. That is the best freedom which you have in photography.
Right.
But there is
So
one question in City of Gods film. You have shot some of the shot on DSLR, some of the shot. So the drone sensors is different. Camera sensor is a different. The drone's capacity and the codecs are different. So how you
Yeah.
are matching that particular film which is shot on drone with the which is on the camera? So how you are making it a streamline and proper, and the color depth and each everything is a proper in stack.
So if you want an output which is properly streamlined, what I do is I prefer that I shoot in log profiles if I have a full frame camera in my hand. And second is I make sure I keep it a bit desaturated, because the thing is later I have a flexibility to work in my edits where I'm doing it on Premiere Pro, so where I align the videos according to my sequence, and then I'm able to establish the color tone for the entire video. So what happens is camera and DSLR, drone and DSLR almost give .mp4 output. So .mp4 output is completely workable, and if you keep your sequence settings the same, I think any video format which is supported in your editing software will help you work through it. That won't be an issue. Just your export settings should be same.
that I hope that answers this question.
Yes.
There's a person raising his hand.
Uh,
I can't see name.
okay.
It's Redmi. So you can
Yeah,
unmute
this
yourself.
is this is me. Can you hear me right now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, hello, Mohit. I was really impressed with your work. I just wanted to ask, how did you build your portfolio? Like, where did you build your portfolio that helped you land your first client? Like, you know, how do I start?
So best tips to start is, for example, if I take events, I'm taking just the area of events, for example. So we as friends and family, we go to a lot of events, right? And we go to a lot of concerts while we want to hang out with friends, just do a chill time. So I also found a lot of places where I could, cater my work there. So what did I do? I used to take my camera along with it. And for example, if there is events, I will go to an event, but I will shoot it for myself. Even though I'm not getting the money, but I will shoot it for myself. And therein I will compose pretty good shots with myself, which I will keep in my portfolio. So for example, anytime you go to a very nice cafe which has good ambience, so you order a few dishes, you eat at there, you hang out there as well, but try and take a few good food pictures as well. So what you happen, you have 5 set of food pictures, you have a 5 set of event pictures. You go to a friend's wedding, you have a camera, try and tell her like, I'm just clicking something casually, you have few pictures for weddings. So like this, you can go to few places which are very convenient to you and try making your own portfolio out of it.
Definitely, but did you use some kind of platform? Like, was it Instagram or YouTube, or what was it that helped you? Like, where did you post all these videos?
All my work is mostly on Instagram, and I have my YouTube channel as well. So where I'm planning slowly, I will start making my videos, which will help create portfolios or post processing, whatever it is. But I'm in the transition phase of the YouTube channel. But most of my work, everything is on Instagram. And one different portfolio which I make is on Wix. Wix has a plan for free websites as well, if you don't know. So what did I do is I compiled all my work which I did on a Wix site, and I share that hyperlink to the client if he ever asks for my work. And whatever
So,
videos I've shot, whatever projects I've done, they are all there on the
yeah,
site.
yeah. So, like, how your first client came to know about you? Did you approach them, or they approached you
They approached me. That was the
through
thing.
Instagram?
No, this was not through Instagram. This was way before, like I was into engineering and I had a knack to click photos. So,
Oh, okay.
so like many people think like Instagram is the only platform, wherein you can punch in your work and you can get it. But word of mouth is also one very strong medium where you can market yourself and
True.
try getting a lot of work. Because Instagram is just a platform, where sometimes it will reach to a wider audience or it may not. But word of mouth and contacts are the thing which will help you grow even faster in this phase.
True. Okay,
Thank you.
that's it from my side. Thank you so much, Mohit.
Yeah.
Cool. So this is really very important step which gets ignored by every like beginner photographer or videographer or content creator, that take pictures or make content wherever it is possible. You can use it in your portfolio, because there are a lot of people who think that for making portfolio you need to have proper gear and
Here or
the
something.
stuff. Yeah. So it's really nice to hear that you didn't give yourself the chance to give reasons that I didn't have this, so I didn't shoot that. You just took advantage of every opportunity you got.
Yes, because it is important. Because if you say you have your sister's wedding and you have an opportunity to click 4 or 5 pictures, which you can yourself add later to your portfolio, nobody is
Right.
going to eat it, right? So it is quite easy, and your sister will be happy that my brother clicked 4 pictures.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's a win-win for both. Even if for a lot of cafes or events, if you shoot by yourself and make a compilation of your own, nobody is going to pull your leg for it, because you have paid the ticket money and you are going to enjoy. So that end of the day also adds in your portfolio. So
Right. So we have another question from Sarfaroz. What device do you use for videography and easy softwares for video editing?
easy softwares for video editing. I think Filmora is one if you want to edit on phone. Premiere Rush, Filmora. These are quite easy to edit. or else I would recommend Adobe Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, and Final Cut Pro if you're using an iOS device.
Okay, and what device do you like? What gear do you use for making video content?
I have my full frame camera now, which is Sony A7 Mark III, and the 24-105 lens. That is the primary device which I use to make. Later, I had a drone, but I am in the process of upgrading. So I had a Mavic Air. Now I'll be upgrading to Mavic Air 2, and I have my iPhone to click stories. That's it. That is the only gear I keep.
Right. So I hope that answers your question, Sir Feroz. Next question is from name is not displayed here. It says Oppo K1. I also want to be a filmmaker, but I don't understand how to start.
So if you want to go into films, there's a very, very basic thing that you just have to start recording your perspective. That is the only thing which everybody is waiting. Before starting, just read something about compositions, read something about panning, and try it by yourself once. And when you try by yourself, you will start learning everything.
Hello.
Yes.
We lost you for a minute. Can you please repeat?
Yes, I was saying if you want to be a filmmaker, just start recording your perspectives and just read a bit about rules like panning, pull in shot, pull out shot. How should one take the pull out shot? How should one take the camera movements? Rest everything is available on the internet. Like camera movements, you will find a number of videos on YouTube for the same. So just read it and start recording. That's it. Now you have to just start. It's not necessary that you have to go to a film school to learn everything.
Right. So next question is from Ridman. Any WhatsApp group for photography, please suggest. So here, like WhatsApp groups are not that efficient.
Yeah.
You can try for videos. Like YouTube has really very nice content to improve yourself. Like there are lots of videographers and photographers who share their tips and their content for free over there. So that's really a great way to learn things. Like
I think YouTube has become a university to this date, because when you want to be creative, there is everything available on YouTube. Any WhatsApp group for photography?
So
Do you have any more questions?
So do you have any more questions? You can type them in the chat box. Till then, I want to ask you,
Yes.
what are your 3 favorite places that you visited till now, and why are they your favorite?
Okay. 3 favorite. One is taking off Bali, because I first time in my life I found out sunsets can be so wonderful. Because I never paused in my life, but I wanted to make my first international trip no matter what. I just went, and that is the one of the best experiences which I have ever had in my life. Second would be while traveling to Manali Hamta Pass side. So that was my first experience in snow, because since birth I never visited snow. So I had an opportunity to go and visit while it had just snowed, and the snow melting would start. So it was just before that everything was opening up slowly. So Hamta Pass was like one of the best solace places which I ever visited, because I found so much of peace in the winds. I found so much of peace just by looking at the mountains, just by looking at the ice. I also met 2 little dog friends who like to play with snowballs. So what we used to do is just put on time lapse and make a snowball out of ice and make that dog catch the snow. So we had quite a lot of good moments there on the trip as well. It was also testing my body extremes as well, because I had never been in snow. What would happen if I am not able to trek so much in snow? But slowly I'm also learning to break my own barriers. So that is why Amta Pass is the second most important place if I have ever visited now. And third would be Pushkar, because that was the first trip where I decided to break my comfort zones. So
Okay.
in terms of comfort zones, and also by going like, yes, I want to make good content and click great content. So Hamta Pass is that sorry, Pushkar is that place. But I also saw a lot of people where, rural India, in terms of Rajasthan, you can see it at Pushkar. You make the camel dance, and somewhere around the line you find a similar thread of similarity which runs with some amount of difference. So in India, in Maharashtra, we have Bailachi Shariat, but there they have the camel race, because they don't have cattle, they have camel, but everything else is same, like that. So
Nice.
that kind of differences I found, but it was good because in the morning we used to go, the sand would be really cold, and in around 4 5 p.m. I'm walking in that sand in that cold just to click pictures. So that was one hell of an experience.
Nice. So, guys, if you have some more questions, you can type them. Till then, Mohit, please tell me, how do you pick your topic for making your content? Like, is it inspired from someone, or is it that you personally find out, or it depends on your mood? Like, how is it? How do you decide your topic?
My decision for a particular topic would be, how do I find that place? Like what kind of vibe I would feel that I want to tell people out. So when you see Amta Pass videos or you see mountains, you will find peaceful vibes are going on in every picture and every video. But when you go to Bali, you will find sunset. So some kind of grandeur is already running around them. So for me, important is giving the place its justification in terms of its sense for delivering good movements. Means if I say I will go to Hamta Pass and I will add a lot of hyperlapses, a lot of time lapses, that doesn't make a beautiful video. What makes beautiful is your way of telling a particular story. So what I keep in mind is, if I am going to a particular place, how well or how different I can tell it in my own way. So I 90% of the times I try to find out my own way of telling the videos. So I will never see I have seen this kind. I'll definitely see whatever videos are there on the internet, just to see what kind of technique he used or what different did he do. But later on, I will sit by myself and I will think like what different I can do here, what different I can tell here as a videographer, because that is more important. Because 90 people will make same video for the same place. Like Varanasi, if you type, there are thousands of videos, even foreigners, even Indians. But what different you can tell about the place, that is more important.
Yeah.
So for me, it was self-discovery. Varanasi was self-discovery. So where people are going around the ghats, they are bathing, they are doing a Ganga Aarti and everything that happens along the process. So it is like a kind of self-discovery, which I find in Varanasi. So that is some slowness which runs in the video.
Yeah.
Mohit,
So,
need to take up any permission for shooting a video on a street, or how is it?
For
Like for making a street video, do we need to take any permission from the local police or anything? Okay, so sometimes what happens, police do not allow us to shoot on the street, or sometimes
it's
some
see
public places.
see some amount of time places are hello.
Hello, yeah, I'm there.
we can hear you.
Yes. So what happens is, sometimes on streets, if you go with a motive to scare out people, people are not going to be uh, happy that you are shooting them. Just put yourself in that zone where you are a part of it, a part of that place. And if you start shooting in that manner, even the police will allow you sometimes. I've even seen, like, I am able to take the policeman, and policeman has seen me shooting videos, but they didn't do anything. So try and see where places are restricted to shoot videos. Definitely don't shoot. But when you're going on the street, just make sure you are in the place with yourself, because the more you are aware around yourself and in the environment, less people will think that you are just going and shooting them. And if you're shooting people, one thing is talk to them nicely, ask them if they are okay with it, then just go and take the shot. Because if you ask them nicely in a polite manner, I don't think many of them will disagree.
Further about the drone, can you please elaborate the permissions we require to take?
Like for the drone, a drone was some work which we had commissioned. Varanasi, we were doing a short movie. So for that, we had informed the police department for it, and we had also the Prime Minister visiting in the same time. So we made sure our shooting drone dates were different than the Prime Minister's visit. So we flew the drone in those time frames.
Okay, and I just gone through your Instagram profile. You are admin at a VADA community.
Yes.
I stay at Pune. So do you arrange the photo walks or some kind of like walks over here for a community, or how is it?
Yes. We every weekend usually what happened before the pandemic, we used to do walks. So we used to meet near Shaniwar Wada and we used to shoot around the streets. And if anybody wanted to talk, ask questions about new things, so we used to do that, and we used to regularly do that. But since the pandemic, we are just available on the digital platform now, not available physically for the photo walks.
So do you have any like a kind of a group, or how is it?
Like, yeah,
Like
we have a group, but it generally is informed via Instagram accounts to everybody. So we post stories that we are going to have a walk, and everybody can join in. That's not an issue. It's open for everybody. So anybody who wants to
Hi,
join, he can come up.
my name is Avari. What
Yes.
would you say about film schools? Like, are they
Uh,
necessary to develop your skills?
See, skill sets can be developed anyway. Matlab, I'm not saying if you want to learn something that you necessarily need to go there. A lot of people who are learning these things online also. Film schools definitely what they do is one advantage I will tell is they definitely tell you how to make connections in terms of being a creative. That is one advantage. But if you mold yourself in that similar manner, I think that is your call end of the day. But going to film school will enhance your connections with people, and you will learn a bit of more technical. But slowly, as you put in more hours to shoot, I think you will be able to make the same output as a film school. Because I have seen a lot of instances as well, people who were not into film school, now they are doing well in terms of photography and everything. But main motive, if you see in film schools, they ask you to do a lot of projects, a lot of subjects, and if you shoot daily, I don't think then you will find a necessity to go to film school. Sometimes it might be not, but that is completely your personal call.
Okay, thank you so much. And have you ever been to a film school or done any course regarding this field?
What I do is I have a friend who has graduated from New York Film Academy. He completed his masters. So whenever I have any queries or if I want to learn something, I just hit them a call. So I have a friend called as Siddharth, who also works in Mumbai as a DOP, who also works for a lot of big projects in Mumbai. So what I learned from him was like a lot of learning that happens over US in Hollywood is on sets, because you are not going to learn something which you are writing in theory. Because being creative and clicking pictures and making videos, it is all practical. It is all the part of the process. The more you shoot, the more you involve yourself with the camera, the more you are going to learn. So same, when I went to Varanasi, we were doing the short film, and I was able to have an hands-on on-set experience where I was able to learn a lot of things. What happens in a production, what things are going to take place, like that. So I just went and I learned. I think in coming days, I think we'll be doing more movies. So he has asked me to come over, and if I want to learn something in terms of camera, I will be allowed to learn that as well. So yes, that that is more important. If you keep your curve ended towards practical based learning, you will be able to learn a lot rather than the theory. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, but how do you get at that phase? Like right now, I'm dropping out from my current graduation, and
Yes.
I'm inclined towards cinematography. Like,
Okay.
how do you get that if you're just a beginner, and how do you land on sets if you have no contacts as such in those fields?
So landing on sites is a very, I would say, big thing. First, I would say you start making your own work, and then try connecting with good cinematographers which are around you. Like some are shooting some short films. Like you will find a bunch of friends who are shooting short films around Pune. A lot of people are making short films and stories. Try and see you are a part of that production in somewhat manner. Like see if you are a part somewhere script writing, somewhere as AD, assistant directing, somewhere around the helping for the shoot. So try to be a part of short film which are in progress. So slowly you will learn like what happens is, and slowly you will as you will develop your skills, you will also see which people do it. So what creatives are doing it, and slowly you will get into contact with DPs, cinematographers, which are basically shooting this. So when you approach them, you will also have a kind of backup. Like I have worked on these projects. I have these things which I want to shoot. And once they see your work, they will be also pretty much, yes, you can come along if you want to learn. Like that, it will start progress.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mohit.
So if you want to start initially, then try and see if you find groups which make short movies. Be a part of them. Slowly, you will start learning also.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Like once you start, you get eventually connected with like-minded people, those who are making contents, and like that you go on connecting to people. So one question. So what are your plans after pandemic? Are there any plans you've made?
Yes, after pandemic, I want to travel again, but let's see if I'm able to travel in these coming months, then I might postpone it to next year. But if this pandemic ends by this year, I just want to make sure that I am able to visit Dubai and Abu Dhabi for shooting, just for
That's
travel.
great.
So that's my dream. So I'm saving up for that, and once like the finances are set, then I'll do a 10-day trip just for that.
That's really nice. So do we have another question? Till then tell me, like in your initial days, like everyone has someone who has inspired them. So in your case, who was it that inspired you to do to make content? Like was it anyone from YouTube, or was it one of your
Like
friends, or yeah?
कैमरा तो हाथ में आ गया था, मतलब कैमरा तो मेरे पास था ही, बट ऐसा नहीं था कि आई एम नॉट क्रिएटिंग विच इज वर्थवाइल. सो YouTube was a part of like digital age. I had phone in my hand. I used to watch a lot of YouTube videos. And suddenly, as you said, I landed on Peter McKinnon's videos. So like 2014 or 2016, I am subscribed to his channel. So since then, I have been following his channel. So uh, I used to see like he teaches a lot of good stuff, but I used to watch his tutorial and try and see like if I'm able to make such kind of work, if I'm able to shoot like that. So like that, and there was a tutorial like 7 things that photography taught me by Jimmy Nelson. So Jimmy Nelson is also a very popular photographer who has traveled around the world to click just nomadic communities all around the world. Yes. So I used to watch his video like and Steve McCurry's on rules of photography. So these were the few key videos I watched, and since then like I've been going around. So initial inspirations would be Steve McCurry and Peter McKinnon, who inspired me to their work. I saw that this is where you can connect people to a lot of pictures. So since then it started.
Right. So can you please suggest a few photographers and videographers for beginners? Like they can follow them or they can check out their work. Can you suggest a few of them?
Okay, first would be Daniel Schiffer, who is like a very good videographer, but on YouTube he also posts how he shoots. Like suppose if he is doing a product video, he will share how he shoots the video.
The B-roll.
The behind he gives everything behind the scenes and how the edit runs. So like you can follow his work. There is another channel called as cinecom.net. So everything related to editing is available on that channel, whether it is After Effects or Premiere Pro. You can start learning from the scratch on that channel. So that is one, and third would be Peter McKinnon. Just if you watch his videos, you will learn a lot of things, just like that. So there are a lot of things he teaches in videos as well. So Peter McKinnon's channel would be third.
Yeah, I'm sharing the links of the YouTube channels, so guys, you can just check them out. Are there any more questions? Okay, I guess there are not. So we can conclude the session. Thank you so much, Mohit, for joining us today.
Anytime.
Yeah, it was great having a talk with you. It really helps a lot to me as well, because even I am like trying my hands on videos. So I'll surely be watching these YouTube channels. Thank you so much, everyone, and I apologize for the initial technical problems which were there in the starting. So if in case someone have joined this session late, don't worry. This video will be uploaded on our YouTube channel, which says Journeys Explore, and it will be up there soon. So next session will be on Wednesday. See you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mohit, for joining.
Thanks, bro.